Ani mọ̀júbà la gbọ́ ó tán àgbo mọ̀júbà. Kẹlẹ̀ wá, ó tò ló balẹ̀ kọlu lẹ̀ júbà la fún agbó e. Àgbo àjúbà fún alẹ́ pa.
When you arrive in Benin, West Africa as a foreigner, especially a white one like me, the first thing that you'll hear is YOVO. It is from the first moments your differences are highlighted. YOVO is a local Fungbe word designated for white people and strangers, a title given to anyone who's lighter skinned or a stranger. Yet in my final moments in Benin, as I was in the airport leaving to the States, it wasn't the word for strangers that I heard. I was walking with my baggage, carrying more than I should have been, when a man I had never seen before ran over to me yelling, FOFO, FOFO, on the ensemble. That's FOFO, not YOVO. Small difference. This encounter in the airport was after my 2 years and 4 months in the country. That was 3 months of agriculture and sustainability training for volunteer work that I would be doing, and the main 2 years. The entire training period, my group and I, all Americans, were known as YOVOs. I was definitely deserving of this name, as I arrived in Benin without French, the main language, and Fongbe, one of the main local languages. At the end of 3 months of training and language, I left for my new home for the next 2 years, a small village named Buwele. I was to visit my home for a week, do my introductions, then return and finish the logistics of training. It was at the time I met with my local volunteer collaborator, Prudent Dosu, the region's veterinarian. When walking around with Prudent, he introduced me as Fofo Amerique. We spent the days visiting house to house, hosting village meetings, and walking the fields being cultivated. The first week in the village was chaotic, to say the least. I had children chasing me, screaming and singing, YOVO, YOVO, merci, YOVO, YOVO, bonsoir, YOVO, YOVO, cadeau. That is to say, they were singing, white stranger, thank you, white stranger, hello, white stranger, give gifts. There were also babies screaming when they saw me, parents laughing, saying it's because they think I'm a ghost. They'd pick up the babies and start chasing me, trying to make the baby cry more. It was crazy. As well as the simple hesitation from other people who just didn't know who I was or why I was in the village. It was clear I was a stranger, this outsider that many assumed was just passing by in a place where no YOVO had ever stayed before. The week ended and I returned to finish 1 month of training and more language practice, which was definitely needed, only for the month to end and me to return to Buwele. The day came where I was to head to my new home. Again, I made a trip in a taxi, this one that had 9 people, all singing about the YOVO, 3 goats on the roof next to a motorcycle, and 2 marriage proposals. Tired and feeling estranged, I made my way to my house, quickly trying to avoid the chaos of the previous visit and my taxi ride. All the people that lived in the same concession as me just stood by the door greeting me, saying, Bienvenue, FOFO. Not quite hearing the phonetic difference of YOVO and FOFO, part of me was a little saddened by the people I'd previously met, ate with, and spent my nights with, all calling me YOVO still. Prudence soon arrived, screaming, FOFO, FOFO, bienvenue! I clearly heard the difference this time, that he was saying FOFO, and I was like, what is that? He said, you, a child of Buwele and big brother to the village, in French, of course. No matter where I went, or the age, everyone in Buwele called me FOFO after my return. I had no choice but to adopt FOFO as my name. I was designated Big Brother, even getting to the point where it was how I was introducing myself. Prudence told me that he demanded everyone address me as FOFO, as I was his, and YOVO was inappropriate for a child of Bwele. In the following 2 years, I was never a stranger to Bwele. Even my local Mama Marguerite, a 76-year-old woman, I was simply Big Brother. The name became who I was, someone I wanted to live up to. Community activities, celebrations, simple conversations, even babysitting, all mandatory of FOFO. The name even spread, and soon in the surrounding villages, Baro, Gozame, Pamia, FOFO was known. Going back to the beginning of this, where I addressed my final moments in the country's airport, I finally felt I actually lived up to the name. A city miles away where it's not likely to see the same person twice without a routine. A man ran up to me, yelling, "Fofo, Fofo, on y ensemble," or Big Brother, we are together. In the same airport, I heard YOVO for the first time. I heard FOFO for the last.